Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we're going to cover the concept of planks. And I can tell you personally that in more than 10 years of working as a professional trainer, this is the exercise that I have had to correct and reteach the most. Because unfortunately, even a lot of trainers out there get this one very wrong and teach the basic form and setup for this, quite frankly, incorrectly. So when you go into a plank, the main focus is your abdominal wall, your hip flexors, your lower obliques, your upper thighs, your glutes, and the lumbar portion of your spine. So this isn't really an ab workout, this is more of a comprehensive core exercise. And the area that I see most people tend to get wrong is that they only focus on how their abs are feeling, they neglect everything else, and because of that, as they start to fatigue, they shift their form in a way that makes it less effective and ultimately compromises their lower back, which increases the likelihood of getting hurt. So when you first go to set up in a plank, I'd always recommend trying the modified form first, see how it feels, and if it seems okay, progress your way up to the full traditional form. So for a modified, it's the same concept as starting a push-up. You want to start on your knees, build a tabletop where your forearms and your thighs are parallel, reach up and out by about 8 inches on both sides, and then push your hips forward so that your shoulders are back over your wrists. Now you should be able to see a pretty clear line between your wrists and your hands. That's the line you want to set your elbows on. So you would just drop straight down, and that's it. You're just trying to hold and maintain that stability through your midsection, where your shoulders and your hips are level and parallel with the ground. And same as with the push-ups, keep your toes pointed down and relaxed, touching equally on both sides. Don't lift up, don't crisscross your feet. That's just going to put additional pressure on your patella and your knees. So this is the basic form for a modified. Elbows directly under your shoulders, shoulders and hips in line and parallel with the ground. Now if that feels okay, no discomfort in your back, and you can feel your abs engaged a little bit, you would just take that stance where your elbows were, put your hands slightly outside of that spot, leave your toes where they were sitting, and then just push straight up. So at that point, your shoulders should be directly over your hands, and your hips should be in line with your shoulders. Now what most people, including a lot of trainers, tend to get wrong about this is they teach it in this kind of form where everything is level on one flat line. And the easiest way to explain that is think if you were building a house, and if this was the line of the roof, where this was the base or your feet, and this was the line of your shoulders or the other wall of support, and nothing was in between. As soon as there's any level of weight pushing down on the middle of that roof, it's going to collapse. That's essentially what's happening to your lower back and your lower spine when you align yourself in that flat, level position all the way from your shoulders to your hips to your ankles. But then the easy correction of that is think if this roof was upside down and now this was a little bit of a decline, you had a joint here with a steeper decline. That creates almost like an artificial support. By raising your hips up, you're putting the tension back on the front side or your anterior chain at your lower abdominal wall and in through your hip flexors, which gives you the ability to control, especially as you fatigue out. So in this position, it might feel like your butt's up in the air a little bit, but that's okay because most of your butt is behind your hip socket. So as long as your hips are level with your shoulders, you're good. And if you feel your lower back tensing up at any point, squeeze your abs. If that doesn't immediately pull the tension out of your back, it's probably time to just take a rest because you're just fatigued out too far. So hopefully this helps explain this movement. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Again, as always, please subscribe to help support us as we continue to grow this library. And we really appreciate you tuning in. Please stay tuned for more videos yet to come, and stay healthy, stay safe, and all the best. Thanks, everyone. Bye.